What state are you in again, NASA baby? Because that ain't California gas prices, I tell you that much for sure. Right, Christina? Nice. Tennessee, okay. I don't know. Is Tennessee a safe place for me? I don't know. That's the thing I have to worry about traveling anywhere. Is it going to be a safe place for me? Christina said 425 here. Wow, let me look at ours. All right, let me see. We're looking at, let me see. Can you guys get along for a few? We are looking at $5.66 a gallon. And that's like considered the cheap price. Like not for premium. Premium is $6. Right. Dang is right. All right, so let me finish getting this set up. Remember, everybody, this is the portion of life where we focus on heart, share, tap, heart, share, tap. Let's do it. Heart, share, tap, heart, share, tap. Co-worker Fred has an inner city partner. He has a tree farm. What kind of trees? I hope it's not like pine trees for Christmas. But I don't know. How many trees? I'm curious. All right. Hardwood. Hardwood. Oh, for hardwood floors? Is that what you're telling me? That's cool. I mean, I suppose. All right. Okay, so for the folks just getting here, my name is Marika Goolsby. I'm a former foster youth and an adoptee. I was adopted out of the foster care system, and I wrote a book about it. This is about my time in care. This is my heart and soul poured out onto paper. Hey, Victoria. Hey, EM, welcome in. We are just getting started. Everybody focus on heart, share, tap, heart, share, tap. Let's go. Heart, share, tap, heart, share, tap. Let's go. So we can get more people in here. Today is Talk It Out Tuesday. Let's talk it out. Let's talk about it. Talk It Out Tuesday is where a space where people that need to talk it out can, and a space where we can talk about what makes relationship repair so difficult. And I don't mean just romantic relationship. I mean friendship, family, acquaintances even. Like, how do you even know that the connection is worth repairing, or should you just cut ties and let it go? I think if it's coming from an emotional space of turmoil of some sort, then I think that's not the time to make lasting decisions. It's kind of like sit on it and come to a place of calm. Hey, Care Bear, welcome in. We are focused on heart, share, tap, heart, share, tap. Heart, share, tap, heart, share, tap. It's Talk It Out Tuesday. Let's talk it out. All right, let me see. So many people just believe in just burning the bridge all the way down and just moving forward, just snowballing through people. And I don't know, that kind of breaks my heart. It does. Because we have, let me see, how many people on planet Earth? Last time I checked was 6 billion. How many people on planet Earth? Oh my God. I swear to y'all, last time I checked, it says 6 something billion. Now it's saying 8.3 billion. people on earth. Like, that's a lot of people. And so many people are lonely. So many people are lonely, and it shouldn't be the case. I think we need to value our connections and value our friendships and relationships and people in our lives more. Like, way more than we do. Way more. Because I feel like if we did that, as soon as there's a lot of misunderstanding, we wouldn't be so quick to just throw them away. All right, let me see. That's a lot of babies since the last time you looked. Right. I don't know if I'm getting some numbers mixed up, which is a strong possibility. It's a strong possibility that I'm getting some numbers mixed up. But I could have swore it was like 6.7 billion and now it's 8.3 billion. No, I'm getting numbers mixed up because it also says the global population reached 8 billion milestone in late 2022. Because exact daily births and unalives fluctuate, tracking agencies provide real-time estimates. That's a lot. All right. So everybody knows what we're talking about. Somebody put yes in the chat if you know what the topic is today. What are my stats? Joanne is already asking about stats. I love it. If y'all know what the topic of today is, put yes in the chat, please. Now, Joanna, first person asking about her stats. I love that. Okay, Joanna has been here a little less than 5 minutes, has 1 comment, 60 shares, bravo, and 0 likes. So that's what we call a high quality engager in the making. So I like it. All right, let me check the messages. Oh, thank you so much for the shares, Victoria. Thank you for tapping that screen. Mrs. Goolsby. Love of my life. And then we're going to get into it. And everybody here knows I love to have a panel discussion. I do. Because I'm always, like, I already know what I think. And one of my favorite quotes is, don't believe everything you think. So that is why you need people in your life to bounce ideas off of. Oh my God. Thank you for the popular. Hey Meg, welcome in. Welcome. So welcome to Talk It Out Tuesday, where we are going to talk it out. Let's talk it out. Let's see, why is it so difficult? Why is repair more difficult than just throwing it away? And it should be the other way around, I think. Now, of course, there are situations where repair is not even a possibility, but that was kind of funny. We have to be able to know the difference and not just make knee-jerk reactions out of an emotional space. This is my strong belief. I know if I'm angry and I'm emotionally charged, that's not the time to make a decision. Actually, for me, that's not even a time to speak on it. That's the time to get still, get centered, get quiet, breathe, come to a place of calm, and then whatever the next move is going to be the right move, not something I'm going to regret later. So there are 3 ways to access the panel. 3 ways to access the panel, in case you didn't hear me. 1, they all start with Daily Heart Me. Nobody's getting on the panel without getting their Daily Heart Me. Period, point blank. Can you read my stats? Yes, Victoria, thank you so much for asking. Let's see. All right, Victoria has been on a little less than 5 minutes and 24 comments. Oh my lordy. 206 shares. That is awesome. That is epic. And 467 likes. And on top of all that, Victoria is a super fan. So bravo. Yes. Thank you so much for the shares, wifey. All right. So yeah, I'm excited to get into this conversation. You know, I don't have a huge entourage of friends around me, and that's okay. But the ones that I do have, I know they're honest and real, and that's to me what matters. And if there's a misunderstanding or a falling out, they'll be down to talk it out. To be like, okay, I'm invested in this connection enough to be like, let's talk about it. What went wrong? What did I do wrong? What did I misunderstand about you? Type of conversation. All right, somebody's requesting. Is this Rachel? Hi, Rachel. Let me check your stats. So everybody knows if you request, I will be checking your stats. Rachel has a daily heart me. Awesome. And Rachel has 1 comment, 0 shares, 3.7K taps. That is quality engagement, yo. Because I always tell people, if you struggle with the shares, double or even triple your likes. And that'll balance the scale, so to speak. So, yeah. Hey, Meg, welcome in. Oh, my gosh. Let's go. Let's do it. Huh? All right. So, Victoria's invited or accepted up just on the strength of being a super fan. And Rachel's up because 3.7 taps. That's awesome. All right. Hello, everyone. That's the baby said. Thank you so much for tapping that screen, Meg. I appreciate you big time. All right, Joe. No, let me see who else. Okay, I don't have any requests. Yes, I do. I was just about to say, okay, I don't have any requests right now, but yes, I do. All right, let me see. Let me see Joe's stats, which I know they're next level. Hold on. There we go. Okay, almost. Joe's stats are 6 comments, 60 shares, 735 likes. All right, keep working on those likes, Joe. You are a quality person becoming a high quality engager. So that's what we're looking for the panel. So we're just trying to get this panel stacked. Yes, you are getting there, Joe. So when we gonna see this? When we gonna get to see Chaos? Am I getting the name right? I think I'm remembering that right. I want to see Chaos. Is the baby sleeping? Let me see. All right, let's go. Let's go. Chaos. Yes, I do like the spelling. Yes, we have to meet Chaos. Nope, she's up. Oh, as soon as you get up, we got to meet Chaos, for real. Chaos needs to be a part of your intro. And now a puppy mom. New pup mom. I don't know. However you want to say it. Awesome. Oh. Does everybody have a tapper? Put yes in the chat if you have a tapper. If you don't have a tapper, visit our showcase, because we have a pretty nice showcase with... Oh no. Night, everyone. I'll be back tomorrow, hopefully. Okay, Christy. Good night. Live your wild and wonderful life because you deserve it. Not on me. Okay. All right. Christina wants to know her stats. Let's see. Christina has 6 comments, 69 shares, 643 taps. So that's what we call a quality engager in the making. And Christina is also a super fan. So yeah, she can be invited up on the strength of being a super fan alone. Okay. All right. Let me see. So yeah, today is Talk It Out Tuesday, which I am. Idris, welcome in. Hi. I'm excited to talk about Talk It Out Tuesday. It's all about connections, whether that be romantic, family, or platonic friendship, or just cordial acquaintances, or whatever. How are we all doing? I'm doing good. I'm doing really good. And we're going to be hearing from the panel soon. Dang, tappy finger. Yes. Everybody needs a tapper. Like, I've been going live I've been going live real hard since last September. And I feel like at this point, everybody needs to have the tapper. I think I've been talking about it long enough. It will make your life easier if you have a tapper. So let's go. Oh, you think so, Joe? You think so? Let me see. Joe said, okay, I have hit 1K taps. Let's see. All right. Okay. Joe has 14 comments, 60 shares, 1.1K taps. Woohoo! You are accepted. Yes. I mean, you are always accepted, but you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying.
I'm just saying. I'm old school tapping, people. I have a cramp. There is no... is Jerry gone? Has he passed to the greater glory? Because Jerry needs a telethon for my tappy finger.
I don't know.
And my paper towels. Chaos is doing great. Oh, intro. I started to just talk. So
yeah,
sorry.
Please hold on.
I will hush. I will get her outside so you can see her.
All right. Jerry Lee Lewis is passed on October 28th, 2022. So yeah, I guess maybe that's an age thing. My first time here. I hope. Welcome. I'm glad to see that you are here, Idris. But yeah, I guess that's telling our age. Nope, the other Jerry? What other Jerry? You said telethon, so isn't that Jerry Lee Lewis? Let me see. No. Oh gosh. Got to log the stats line. Huh? No. Oh. Maybe there's no Lee in there. Maybe it's just Jerry Lewis. Yes, Jerry Lewis. Okay, August 20th, 2017. Yes, this is a different person. Oops. I got my Jerry's mixed up. Yeah. I looked up the right one. You know, I love an internet search. Everybody knows this about me. Or should by now. All right, our numbers are looking pretty good. We got 10 people in the building. 10 people in the building. All right. So, for those of you that don't know, Marika Goolsby, former foster youth and adoptee. I wrote a book about my time in care. It is called A Flower Called Orphan Girl. It is available in my TikTok shop. It is available everywhere books are sold. Grab your copy if you have not yet. It is always my goal to sell 5 per live. That is a goal. And it's also my goal to have 5, count it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new followers every live. And the only way we're going to reach that is by sharing it out so people know, come on in. It's a good time over here. And I don't know how many people have seen the pinned post about our weekly schedule. If you have, put yes. Excited to introduce y'all to chaos. Okay, I'm excited for it too. If you have seen the post, all right, thank you so much, wifey. Has seen the post. Aloha, Comfort Corner, welcome in. I believe that's my A-Train sister. Unless there's another Aloha. Oh, there is. Aloha Digital. Did you change from Aloha Digital? Hey, EM, welcome in. So happy to see you. Okay, I need everybody to go look at this pinned post that shows our schedule. And put a comment in there. Put a comment in there like, seen it. Yeah, just put seen it in there. The first, do you have all our usernames memorized? For the most part, I think so. For the most part. Yeah. I mean, I know who my regulars are, that's for sure. Oh my God, thank you for the populars. But yeah, I have two Alohas, Aloha Digital, and then there's this other Aloha, which I'm wondering if it's the same person, just changed her name. Yeah, Aloha Comfort. Oh, that is my A-Train sister. Don't forget. Yes, thank you so much, Victoria. I appreciate that. So anyway, what we're talking about today is Talk It Out Tuesday, because so many people, they just want to burn the bridge and keep it moving. I just rediscovered there are 8.3 billion, with the B, billion people on the planet. And so many people are lonely. And I think it's because of cancel culture and treating people as discardable. Oh, did you? Let me go look. And I think that needs to change. Like, we need to value each other way more than what we do. How can I go look? It's not letting me. What the heck? What the heck? Is what little Lonnie would say. All right, hold on. I'm about to go see. If I can. I love rules. I do too. It keeps things safe and comfortable, I think. This chainsaw is working. What are you trying to do with the chainsaw? Oh my gosh. We got a wildflower with this chainsaw. Makes OCD Joe ever so happy. Okay. All right, let me see. I just want to go look at this real quick, if I even can. I've seen people doing it before. Oh, okay. Yeah, no. All right, I'm gonna write your name down and check that out later. Unless the moderator can do it. Right. A wildflower with a chainsaw. Oh my gosh. That is kind of spooky. All right, maybe I can do it now. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. All right, cool. Okay, something went wrong. Why? Nothing should be going wrong. All right, anybody else? My bad, I can't. Oh, my old boss sold me a chainsaw for $10. Like $10. Wow. That's some good pricing right there. All right, has anybody else been able to go look at that pinned post that shows our schedule? I'm trying to build a raised garden. Nice. That is so impressive. I am impressed by people who are like, I want that thing, I'm going to build that thing. I'm trying to bring back. Oh, nice. Yeah, that's what I need to do in my backyard, for real. Okay, so let's get into it. Oh, wait, I haven't even seen a bunch of yeses in the chat. Put a yes in the chat if you know what the topic is and you know what it's about. Put a yes in the chat. I need to be seeing all yeses. Thank you, Joe. Anybody else, or is Joe the only one that knows? Okay, Rachel knows. Okay, Care Bear knows. EM knows. Who else? Anybody else? Or is anybody else know what the topic of the day is? And I can do Sunday. Okay, good. Yes. Yes, I wrote that down too. All right, cool. All right. So I guess we're ready to get into the topic then. Ooh. All right, let's do it. All right, here we go. You know, I've been needing my sound effects. All right, I think I'm going to go in order of the people that said yes. I usually start at the bottom, work my way up, or start at the top and work my way down. Oh, I just realized, Care Bear, where are you? Why aren't you on the panel? All right, maybe Care Bear's busy, right? It's possible. Meg's not on the panel either, our Care Bear. All right, we are going to start with Joe because that was the first person to... Oh, did you want to come up? Because I didn't get your guest request. Let me check your stats, Care Bear. All right, hold on, folks. Hold on, folks. Oh, okay, that's why. No, but Care Bear is a super fan, so there's that. Care Bear has 16 comments, 65 shares, which is awesome, and 466 likes. And also, Care Bear is a super fan. So, Care Bear is invited. All right, the other person I wanted to check was... Oh, Meg did too. Hold on. Meg looked at pin posts. All right. Ooh, pin post. Excellent. All right. Meg has 6 comments, 0 shares, but 2.3K likes. Bravo, Meg. Meg said not up for paneling tonight. Okay, cool. Not a problem. Thank you for being here. I appreciate that you are here and tapping. And maybe we'll drop a comment or 2. All right.
Can I just say for your video that you're saying for people to go look at, don't just say seen it. Make sure you do 5 or more words.
Thank you. Thank you for that reminder. Because I did.
So say seen it, happy to support from whatever state you're in or something like that.
I like it. Thank you so much, Care Bear. That was a good pointer right there. Yeah, they say between 5 and 9 words makes an impact. All right, so I have my order here. We're going to start with Joe. Everybody is going to get 10 minutes. When your 10 minutes is up, I will drop you from the panel. And of course, you can come back up for an additional 5 if you need an additional 5. Meaning like, I just had this new thought, I just had this new feeling, I have to share it. All right, Joe, you are up first. Let's get your intro and your thoughts and feelings about Talk It Out Tuesday and all the things connected to that. You have the mic.
Excellent. Now, is my reception in the backyard good? Can you hear me clearly?
We can hear you good, yes.
Because I don't normally, but I want to show you the puppy, and they're outside right now.
Let me stop your timer if you're going to show the puppy.
Okay. And then I'll do my intro when I come back from showing puppy.
Yes.
Okay, so give me a second. I'm kind of slow with the phone, so 2 seconds.
Okay, take your time. Everybody knows I love selling puppies. I'm an animal lover, so much so I made it a business. This is Frederick, y'all. Isn't he the cutest little guy? Well, I can't even say little guy. He's kind of a big guy. All right, we got to make this bigger so we can see. Oh, my goodness, so little. Hi, little puppy. Oh, wow. Next to the big dog, you really can see he's little. Oh, so cute. And how old is he? He's like, what, 12 weeks? Oh, he's hiding behind the big guy. I know, right, Rachel? So cute. That's how I feel, Meg. The big guy's like, get this little thing away from me, please. Please, stop annoying me. Oh, little guy's just like, I just want to play.
Now, do not mind my yard. This is the pet's yard, not mine.
Oh, no.
We have a front yard that we use. So this is purely a pet playground and potty spot. We don't even use the backyard.
No worries.
So there's lots of this. This is an old pool we're using to stop ruckus digging, where we just had a septic pump out. They have to dig, and now Ruckus wants to investigate the smells that come up, which are gross.
Ew.
So that's why that is there. This
need.
is the tree that attempted to unalive my son.
Oh, that's right. You did tell us about that.
That went through his bedroom there. And that's the construction mess they still haven't cleaned up. Okay. But back to the puppy.
Yeah.
This
That's
is chaos.
We're not worried about any of that.
We're doing puppy content. So this is lovely little chaos.
Oh, I
Her
love
ears,
chaos.
if I can get close and she doesn't run off,
are
which is impressive at only 9 weeks old.
Okay,
but it will take, they tell me, about 8. Oh, we are having words. Oh, slobber. Big dude. Thank God that slobber didn't hit me. He slobbers like a purebred St. Bernard. Wow. But that is a little chaos. Now, her collar does appear to be pink, but we have signature colors in this house. Okay. Her signature color is actually lilac, except that one's a little light. So, but not purple, lilac.
Got it.
And Ruckus's signature color is orange. Okay. And all my animals have signature colors. I don't know why. Karma's was magenta. And when we laid Karma to rest, which is right over there, beside that tree, she took her magenta jacket with her and her magenta collar and leash. Okay. So everybody gets a signature color in the house. Sweet. Except me, because I don't care. That's Ruckus. That's 165 pounds a dog. Nice. Oh, don't show off that part of yourself, Ruckus. We're on the... But see, she's going to play. He's lying down to get her to play with him. Oh. Because he can't play with her like he will when she's bigger. So he's been so good. I'll tell you, for an intact male dog, he is. And by the way, people, he's intact only because I don't do pediatric spay. He's going to the vet soon. It got delayed because of the cost. Oh, good boy. Get him, Chaos. She is not afraid of him.
That's good. They have trust.
She is tough. Yes.
They have trust. All right.
Yeah. Well, and he's very good. So that's a little chaos, and she's good. Back to our regular programming.
Thank you so much.
Because they are going to play hard, and they haven't been able to play today because the weather's been so hot. And Ruckus does react to weather as a purebred St. Bernard, so he gets heat exhaustion.
Thank you.
So.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate it. But yeah, let's get back on topic. That was a good good puppy fix for everybody in the room. But yeah, let me go ahead and start the timer.
All righty.
Intro.
My name is Joanna. Or Joe. Just don't call me Joanne. I am 64 years old. My pronouns are she, her. I am connected through the community as a kinship adoptee. My husband is a wet from the womb. Mama got sent away to the bad school adoptee. Because of our adoptions and locked records, I am a genetic genealogist and apparently crazy enough to get a new puppy. So I think that's everything, isn't it? Oh, and I'm a Leo, if it matters. There you go. I'm adding that in, too. Okay, sure, Marika, no one who ever has met me... Nobody who has ever met me, when I say I'm a Leo, has been at all surprised.
Right.
Apparently, I'm a very classic. It's pretty obvious. I'm a lioness. Because guess what? The lion doesn't run the pack. He just does security for the ladies.
That's right.
And a little schmaxy time. But they don't. There is no king of the pack.
No.
That's not how lions work.
No.
Anyway, so on to the topic, which I know is about conflict resolution. I think that many of us have not been taught it. I certainly wasn't as a child. I had to learn it as an adult because I was in a number of supervisory positions in my career. And you have to understand how you might conflict with your the people you're supervising and how they might conflict, and you have to step in and when not to step in. So conflict resolution is a big thing. I think it is harder to achieve when we think we have the anonymity behind a computer screen or a phone, and we get away with a lot more that we would never have anywhere near the backbone to say to somebody's face. But we have this feeling that we're safe. But the fact is, I research for a living. You're not. I don't care if you use a user, insert random numbers. The internet's forever, and there's foot tracks everywhere. So mind what you say, because there are people, like I told my kids as they went through high school and the social media, please remember when universities pick who they're going to accept, when employers pick, they look at your social media. And if it's between you and somebody else, Oh, yeah, absolutely. And that was coming in when my kids were coming to that age. The fact is that they will look at your social media, and if it's between you and another candidate, and you have some shitty social media, even just complaining about previous employers, whatever, it may be the thing that changes that. So be mindful of getting into these conflicts. You may end up, especially if someone's looking at it from a distance of time and place, they may not see that you were righteous in your anger. All they're going to see is, oh, wow, you don't like somebody, you lose your shit.
It'll be out of context, yeah.
Exactly. And then, but it is the way it is. You have to be mindful of that. Conflict resolution is tough. It is something I will be discussing today. It was my 4th therapy day.
Oh,
so exciting.
Yeah.
It's going well. The first couple were more introduction, getting comfortable with each other.
Yeah.
The third one was starting to touch on areas that we want to focus on first. And today was one of the first kind of specific topic ones. And it was about a lot about conflict. It touched on conflict resolution because the behavior, and I won't get into it, but the behavior creates a conflict between my husband and I. That I would like to understand why the dynamic is happening, where I'm contributing. And because, like she said, we're not here to psychoanalyze Mike. He's not in the room. If I will happily do couples therapy, or he can see his provider separately, but we're not going to play Let's Blame Mike. We're going to think about what Joanna contributes or doesn't, because it's not a safety issue. We're talking about a verbal spat. Okay. I've never felt unsafe, and my husband doesn't say cruel words.
That's good.
Or if he does, he gets his ears pinned back, because nobody's ever called me a quiet woman.
Right. You're not the suffering silence type.
Oh, I grew up with no voice, Marika, you know my past.
Yeah.
And I decided, you silenced me, I will never be silent again.
Right.
Maybe I go too far, I acknowledge that. But I am not going to lose the voice, because you also didn't know me when I first came on this app. I couldn't even say I was an adoptee.
Oh.
Because I had been so trained to never, ever even say that.
Oh, wow.
I was absolutely to pretend my grandmother gave birth to me.
Oh,
and I was never to tell the truth, because it would shame the family. So, it's always fun being somebody's secret. I can't see how many minutes I have left, dear, when you change the box. What am I at?
4 minutes and 55 seconds.
Okay. So let's think about what not... I'd like to think about what not resolving conflict has done to my adoptee community. I don't even participate much anymore because my own mental health cannot handle it. Too many people I like are at odds with each other.
Yeah.
I don't want to be pulled into it. Being an older adoptee, I tend to get pulled into it because I'm Granny Joe to some of them. I just, it's hard because people I do give credit for helping me find this voice as an adoptee are in conflict with other people that supported the journey, and it's a very hard place to be in.
Yes.
And then I also feel really bad because most of my mental health issues and all the trouble in our family this last year is when it got really bad, and I just wasn't even on the app. So, or I just doom scroll, like I really didn't follow anybody, like in depth, and I could see there was some problems, and I'm like, oh no, Joe, stay there. In fact, my husband, Mike, doesn't tell me what to do very often, but he advised me strongly to stay the hell out of what he considers online drama. Now, he doesn't know these people. It's more than drama. But as my husband, all he sees is that I have been ripped up before and hurt because I want people to be okay. Yeah. And I forget I can't make the world okay. But I have OCD. I believe I can.
Oh.
But I believe with OCD that I can make the world okay. But I also believe if I line shoes up, I'm safe from getting raped. So figure that one out. Because I literally, when I line up shoes, I feel that no one can come in my house and hurt me.
Keep it.
It is a mental illness. It's not a joke.
Yeah, I get it.
If everything is organized, then my life cannot spiral.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous. I also have the It's so bad the kids bought me a coffee cup that says, wait a minute, let me overthink it.
Oh.
I can get to the point where I have to make a decision and I have 47 things that could go wrong, including apparently an elephant tramping through my house. I don't know.
Oh,
whatever. That's how unrealistic they get, but it gets you to the point where you can no longer make a decision.
And then
because
you're just paralyzed.
You can't think of any good outcome. You're paralyzed because 47 bad things are going to happen out of your control. So conflict resolution, the reason I went there with this is conflict resolution can be within yourself. Because OCD creates a place where I'm in conflict with myself all the time. So that's part of my therapy is learning how to stop being in conflict with myself.
Okay.
Because that's what OCD does. It's literally almost, I won't say it's like dissociative disorder,
right,
but there's literally an active voice in my head telling me that if I make that decision, 47 bad things are going to happen. I don't hear a voice, but you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like
the
this
feeling.
dread feeling.
Yeah.
It literally washes over me and gives me like cold sweats. So then I just don't make the decision. Because if I make it and something bad happens, which could happen, right?
It could.
Then it's my fault because I made that decision. Someone else did. So I'm in a lot of people with OCD are often in conflict with themselves.
Yeah.
But I think anything that can resolve conflict. Let's be honest. If everybody's happy and comfortable and living their authentic self, it's a better society. It's a better app. It's a better room. It's just better. Why would you want other people unhappy and uncomfortable?
Well,
even if you don't care, if you're the world's biggest narcissist. Still, if they're not in conflict, your life is more peaceful. You don't get dragged into it. You don't have to put up with it.
You would think.
You would think. But for narcissists, other people in conflict is like watching a sports game. They love it. They love to go in, mix it up, and set each other on. Well, because then you're superior, honey. Look at you groveling, fighting chicken people.
And I'm up here.
And I'm up here. And I know it all. And if you'd only listen to me.
Oh, wow.
That is the narcissist. I know it because I married one. And I am fortunate in his birth. I am sad about how he has grown up as a man, and that would be my oldest son. He needs to deal with the narcissistic. I don't think he's a narcissist. I think it's a learned behavior from his dad, who is a true and absolute narcissist.
Could be.
My son misses a lot of boxes for actual narcissism.
Oh, okay.
But
so
he has enough of them. It can be a learned behavior. Yeah. This is how his father taught him. This is how men see the world.
Wow. Well,
and if you don't see it this way, you are not a man. So anyway, I'm done. I think my time's up.
Yes, it is. Thank you so much for speaking out on the panel. I will drop you down if you come up with any other thoughts or ideas. Feel free to. You know it. All right.
Well, the therapist says I have to learn not to overspeak too. So we're working on it.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks. All right. I have next on the list Rachel. We are talking about Talk It Out Tuesday. Why is it easier to just throw it in the trash than talk it out sometimes? I feel like, and that's more and more, I feel like it's because of cancel culture and because of seeing other humans as discardable. Just throw it in the trash. 20K, thank you for pointing that out, Care Bear. That is awesome. 904 shares. Fantastic. All right, there are 3 ways to get to the panel. They all start with the Daily Heart Me. Daily Heart Me and be a super fan. Daily Heart Me and participate in the live goal or the gift gallery. Daily Heart Me and 60 shares plus 1K taps. If the shares make you squeamish, double or triple your taps. So, those are the ways to access the panel. We are talking about relationships, repair. I think this needs to be a space of repair and healing because there are so many spaces of, what did they used to say when I was a kid? Don't be an instigator. Don't be an instigator. Like, ooh, girl, she said. Ooh, girl, she said. Now y'all two fight. Like, no. All right, Rachel's up next. We're going to ask for an introduction, name, age, pronouns, How are you connected to this community? And what are your thoughts and feelings on burn it down or try to repair it? Yeah, I don't think there's a little bit of both. I think it's one or the other. But yeah. All right, Rachel, are you ready?
Awesome. Yes, I am.
You have the mic.
Awesome, thank you. My name is Rachel. I am 30. I use she, her pronouns. I am a former foster kid and current guardian ad litem, and my sister was adopted out of our family. So when you first brought up this topic, it immediately made me think of like, okay, well, how does that relate to the foster system? Because that's just the mindset that I get into when I'm like on this channel.
Mm-hmm.
Things. And I thought of the way that the separation of my family impacted me and my sister. Mm-hmm. I think for me, it made me grab on to the friends that I had, and like the friends that I made then, I still have today as a grown up. Mm-hmm. And my sister, I think, reacted the exact opposite way because trauma, as we know, impacts people totally differently, even if the same quote unquote experience happens. So my sister, I think she cuts off people very easily. So I've had the same exact friends, lifelong friends, people that I couldn't imagine my life without. And she has people that she'll dive headfirst into a friendship of like 3 years max. And then she has some kind of combative experience with them. And then she ghosts them completely. Like, she's like, okay, they're not a good person. They're out of my life.
Yeah.
And as someone that has had lifelong friendships, I just can't fathom how she can let someone go like that. But again, I think it's a trauma response of this person hurt me, I need to walk away. Mm-hmm. Whereas I think I take it, this person hurt me, we have to talk this out because I can't possibly keep going with this conflict between us. Like, it feels like something is sitting on my chest when I'm upset with a friend who's close to me.
Yeah.
And so both are extreme, but I do think that the ditch and move on is far more damaging. Mm-hmm. I think she has a hard time connecting with people for long periods of time. And time isn't the most important, but it does help you connect and like build experiences and understanding. The same way that I was wondering why I even wanted to like get on the panel and talk. It's because having people listen to you and understand you feels good. It feels like mm-hmm. connection. Mm-hmm. And it's hard to have connection with people when you're constantly walking away from situations where you have conflict. Yeah. So I feel like it's just easier sometimes to just like walk away for my sister instead of realizing that if somebody's having a hard conversation with you, it's because they love you, mm-hmm. or they want to change the interactions. Yeah. So it's like if someone doesn't care about you, it's far easier for them to just be like, who cares? Because this relationship doesn't mean anything, versus having a hard conversation when conflict is there. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And I acknowledge that this feels like a safer choice for me. I think leaning into my anxiety and doubling down with my friends of like, hey, can we really talk this out? Yeah. That's something that is, I guess I grew it slowly, but it's part of my nature. That is not part of my sister's nature. And I think it makes it really difficult for her to try and to engage in conflict resolution mm-hmm. because it's not a skill that she has, and she isn't sure how to build it. And I think that being able to take a breath and go up to someone that you love or that you're having some kind of interaction with, even if it's at work, like you don't love your work people, but well, some people might,
yeah,
but
maybe.
Yeah. Or like even a stranger in like the DMV line. It's moments like that when you get triggered and a conflict comes up. Your initial reaction, you have to like take a pause and look at it. Like, is my initial reaction going to be valid right now? Am I reacting out of anger and I'm just gonna be frustrated? Am I gonna take a second, swallow my anger and realize as much as I want to put the anger out there, it's not gonna help the situation. So maybe I should just resolve with who I'm with, and then I can deal with my anger in a different space. And that's something that you learn as you grow, and you have these conflicts where you realize, oh, that didn't go the way I wanted it to go. Why? Oh, because instead of listening to their point, I immediately started putting my own point in there, or something like that. Like, you just learn slowly how to build those skills. But as an adult, I look at my sister and I'm not sure that she's dealt with our childhood trauma in a way that allows her to actually take a step back and view herself and her actions. And so I don't think that she can see that she doesn't have conflict resolution skills. And so every time she has these very short-winded friendships, she thinks it's her, and she like spirals into, I'm a failure, everybody hates me.
No.
Yeah, and it's hard to see, because it's like, oh no, it's not that these people like hate you, it's that they love you enough to tell you when something you're doing is damaging the relationship.
Yeah, because they don't
and
want
instead of hearing that, it's kind of being like, oh, well, you hate me, I'm out. And it's hard. It's hard to take feedback from people. It's hard to give feedback to people, but it's essential to understanding each other. How can you connect with someone that you don't fully understand?
Right.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of my thoughts on that.
Thank you for sharing. Yeah, and I'm glad you brought up, like, how foster care and adoption affects how we are willing to kind of talk things out or not. And it's really interesting. Like, I feel like I'm always like, if we're working on it, we're working on it. Like, let's talk it out. Let's get to the bottom of this. You know, this is what I said. This is what I meant. This is what I thought you said. What did you mean? Like, we're in it, right? But I feel like for me, and I think this is also a trauma response, as soon as the person says, I don't want to work on it anymore, I'm done. And I'm like, are you absolutely sure? And they're like, yes, I'm sure. I'm like, all right, bye. That's it. Okay, see ya. So it's kind of like a weird combination of the, like, let's work on it, and then, a willingness to, like, cut people off. And I have heard people say, wow, you weren't willing to fight for us. And I was like, well, you said you were done. Like, once you tell me you're out, I don't want to work on this with you. And I'm like, well, you should have said, I need a cooling off period. I need some space. Let's revisit this next week or next month. But you said, so I believed you and moved on. So I don't know. I think that's kind of a weird combination of the two. Because at first I was like, it can't be both. It has to be one or the other. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that, Rachel? No? Just asking because you had 2 minutes left. But yeah, those are kind of the duality of where both can exist. Yes, Remedy Kitty, welcome.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Oh, sorry. I had reconnected to my charger.
Oh, okay.
What did you ask?
I was just like, what are your thoughts on that? Because when I first started the live, I was saying, like, there are some people who are like, want to repair, and then there's some people that are like, burn the bridge down, moving on. And I feel like I kind of do both. Whereas, like, if I'm having a conflict with someone and I do care about the connection and I want the connection to stay intact, we can talk about it, we can work on it for however long. It doesn't even matter. We're going to get to the bottom of it. But as soon as that person says, I no longer want to work on it, I'm done, I'm out, I'm like, are you sure? And if they're like, yeah, I'm done, and then I'm like, okay, bye. Cut off. That's it. End of story. You don't want to work on it anymore? Okay, fine. We're done. And moving on. So it's kind of like a weird combination of the two.
That makes sense, especially like, the duality of it. I think that mine, that's where it could use some work. That's where I can appreciate my sister's experience of, she can't just change into someone that doesn't push people away instantly. It's going to take work. I think I need to work on letting people go when they are making it very clear that they need to leave.
Yeah.
I think that I grab onto people and I'm like, no. If I do this or this right, I can keep them. I can make myself worthy of them staying. So that's the business side of it, because there are toxic people that
true. I'm like, you don't want to be here. Bye. See ya.
Yeah.
See you later, or not. But yeah, thank you so much for chiming in, Rachel. I appreciate you. I'm going to drop you from the panel. And if you have any additional thoughts or feelings to share, let me know. Holla, as my mother would say. All right. So next on the list, I have Care Bear as next on the list. Let's get your intro and your thoughts and feelings on this topic. And you have the mic starting now.
My name is Kira. I'm 51, she, her. I'm a part of the community because I worked with families experiencing homelessness. Sometimes their children were pulled. I also worked with families with reunification, and I had family members in my house. I think I hit everything, right?
I think so, yes.
Okay, good.
You said pronouns, right? You said pronouns?
She, her.
Yes. Okay, then yeah.
So I think I have an exact situation that happened with me and a very close friend of mine. Mm-hmm. She had a situation that happened, and it was very emotional. I happened to be in another city, and I was trying to get back to her to try and help her. So I'm going to try and make this short as possible. Essentially, what I think that sometimes happens is that there's perceptions of reality, right? So my perception of reality, her perception of reality, and then what actually really happened, right? So all of those three things exist simultaneously. And so what happened in this situation was she ended up sending me an email with her perception of reality, and it did not conform with my perception of reality. Like, so she was saying things like, you didn't get here by this time, but yet I was driving as fast as I could to get there, and I couldn't physically get there. And I had other things, so I like called my mom and been like, if I say go to this address to check on her, you go, because I'm not going to get there in time. So like I had done all these things. And then there was also a perception of like, so I didn't get there in time. So she went to a certain appointment and then came to my house. And because of the situation she was going through, I was nervous of how to handle the situation, because it's very, it was very like, she was struggling, right? So I'm trying to figure out how to handle the situation. I'm nervous handling it. I probably didn't do the best job handling it. And so then, she was upset that I didn't handle it well. I honestly am, like doing my best. But anyways, so what ended up happening is another situation happened where I was like, I'm trying to keep things vague because I'm trying not to make things, anyways, there was a political thing that happened, and I'm like, I was super upset about it, and like I voiced that to her because I thought it would affect me and my family, and she was like, you're being ridiculous. And then I literally like sent her an email, was like, hey, this is the research I've done. I've calmed down since our conversation. Here's the research. Here's like what I'm talking about. And then she was like, I can't be around you right now.
Okay, well.
And this was like literally my best friend in the whole world. She like almost lost her husband, and I was like there every day walking alongside her. And I was like, okay, if you need space, that's what you need. I got you. And then all of a sudden, the space turned into a long time, and I'm like, what? Literally, are you like leaving me here right now?
So
Like,
there
I've
was no
walked
time limit.
alongside
It wasn't
you.
like I need space for 1 month or 1 year or 6 hours.
No.
Yeah, that's
No,
hard.
and it just became this long time. So I reached out and I was like, are you really, like, leaving me here right now with nothing? And, like, I've walked alongside you through horrible tragedies. You've walked alongside me through horrible stuff. Like, we worked in the field together. So we've seen things that we could write books about.
Yeah.
That people would be like, I can't believe you walked through that. I don't know how I would have walked through that because it was so traumatic. And then I got an email from her just saying I was the worst person ever. And her perspective of everything was, like, so different. Like, she was like, you didn't even try to get to me when I was struggling. And I'm like,
you're like, not true.
I was driving.
Not true.
I was speeding. I didn't even stop to eat. My mom was on call to go to you. And then when I couldn't get to you on time, you were going to be at this appointment. I said, just come by my house. You know, some of it was accurate in that, like, I didn't handle it well because I was nervous. But her perspective was so different than mine.
Yeah.
And then I think that part of that might be, you know, like our upbringing, our experiences, you know, that can warp our perspective, right? So something can trigger us, like somebody let me down here, so you didn't get here in time, so I feel like I'm let down, and that's my perspective, even though I was literally speeding to you and texting you constantly saying, my ETA is this, my ETA is this, I'm doing 60 and it's 45, you know, like, so I think that perspective is a very big part of this conversation. And I think that perspective is formed by life experiences and life traumas. So if you're traumatized in a certain area, your perspective might be warped in certain situations because of the trauma that you experienced from XYZ. So anyway, that's kind of like my perspective on this, is that, like, try to, like, give people grace. And I did. I just let her, she wanted nothing to do with me. I've let her go do her life. People ask all the time. I have all these people that ask me all the time, how have you talked to her, blah, blah. And my only response is, and I know all the skeletons. Like, I could say all kinds, there's no part of that. My only answer is, like, I'm just happy she's living her best life. And that's all I can say. Like, I wish her the best, and I will love her from afar because that's what she's asked me to do. And all I want for her is the best for her. And sometimes I think that's the best you can do, is if somebody is like that, you just have to say, like, I still love this person. I mourn it all the time. Like, I mourn the loss of it, but I have to respect her wishes, and I'll mourn it, and that's okay. But I still only want what's best for her.
Yeah.
Like, she's doing certain things that she always wanted to do, and she's living her best life, and I'm just happy that that's what she's able to do, even if it's without me, even if it's without resolution. That's fine, because that's what she needed in the situation. And while it hurts immensely, that I can't get any resolution, it's, you know,
well, you
that's part of friendship.
So far, you haven't been able to so far. I don't know what the future holds, so I don't know if I would say can't. You just never know in the future, but you haven't yet, and that does hurt, I'm sure.
And, you know, and the thing is, like, I've been blocked from everything, so I don't have a way to communicate with her, other than through other people, which I don't think is the way to do things. That feels, like, gross to me. So I just feel like at this point, like, my only job is that I love her, and I will continue to love her and be happy for the things that she is doing that I know were goals in her life. and I just do that from afar. And that's all I can do, you know? So, you know, I think sometimes, like, would I love to have an opportunity to resolve things? I would, but, you know, sometimes, though, what I've realized with this is that sometimes things are taken out of our life on purpose.
That's what people say.
Because they're not meant to be in your life. And, you know, I've had experiences in my life with clients where they passed away, and I had CPR training, all these things. And I think that the universe or God or whatever you believe didn't put me in that situation because it would have traumatized me more than it would have healed me. So I think sometimes you just have to say, hey, this is happening for a reason, and I have to trust that it's beyond my understanding.
Yeah.
And that's the end of my time.
Well, thank you so much for chiming in. I appreciate you big time, Care Bear. I will drop you from the panel, and if you have any other additional thoughts or feelings to share, request back up. And I just wanted to say, the whole time you were talking, I was just reminded about how, like, logic and emotion rarely cross paths. Logic and emotion rarely cross paths. So if someone, that's what came up for me when I was hearing you, is that if someone is upset because they're waiting for you, explaining the why, because, you know, I got a late start, or I'm going my fastest, or I'm that, is all logical reasons why you are not there yet, but it doesn't do anything for the emotional person who feels dropped, left, forgotten about, not cared about, or whatever. So I feel like that was probably the disconnect right there. But I could be wrong. I don't know this person. This is just my initial thoughts about it. That she needed to hear, yes, you are right. I'm not there yet. You're right. And I hear that you're upset that I'm not there yet. And that's it. No explanation. Don't defend. Don't deny. Just state in the facts, you know? But that's my 10 cents for whatever it's worth. All right, so I had told Joe, who requested an additional 5, that they were next. Callie, let me check your stats real quick, because that's a thing. We check stats. Oh, snaps. Okay, Callie has 1 comment, 4 shares, but 4.6K taps. Yes, Callie is accepted. Wow. Okay. Thank you so much. Joe, if you are still here, yes. Joe has an additional 5, and then we're going to hear from Callie. And Nixie already told me they are just hanging out, which is perfectly fine, because Nixie is a super fan and a moderator and an amazing tapper and sharer. So, all right. Joe, please do your intro again for those who have not heard, and you will get your additional 5 starting now.
Okay, so intro Joanna or Joe. Please not Joanne. I have a little weird thing about my name. 64, going to be 65 this August. I'm so excited.
Ooh, congrats.
Wife, mother, grandmother, adoptee, kinship type, husband, adoptee. Mama got sent away to the bad home type. So double adoptee family. And because of all that, I became a genetic genealogist because it truly saved my husband's life. I would have been widowed 4 years ago. So that is it. Now, it was that close.
Just 4 years ago, though.
It was only 4 years ago. It feels like it was forever, and then it feels like it was yesterday. I only remember 4 years because it came up on my calendar. That was the day Mike had heart surgery. So, yeah, it was only 4 years, but it, again, feels like 10 years ago and also feels like only yesterday. It's weird when you face your partner's mortality. It's a lot different than facing your own. And it's terrifying. And that's why we need open health records. Anyway, what I wanted to come up and talk about was perception of time. I used to be a police and fire dispatcher. Now, it wasn't a nice big city antiseptic one. Where one person takes the call, it goes to the dispatch doesn't talk to the person that's screaming into the phone. They are purely doing a dispatch. I had to do both. So in the middle of someone screaming because they're having the worst day of their life, I have to be calm and also run a radio. And if it's a big deal, I got to send police, fire, and then I got to call the dispatch for EMS because I didn't do that. So it's a lot. What I wanted to talk about specific, though, is when we are in crisis, like your friend was, Care Bear, when we are in fear, when we are having the worst day of our life, there are biological things that happen to our bodies that literally change the way we perceive time. When someone is in one stage or other of flight, fight, fawn, or freeze stages, you will perceive time differently. You really will. It is part of our biology. It's to do with the hypothalamus. It's to do with adrenaline. It actually is also to do with how much adrenaline you are used to normally handling. How you will react. And as a dispatcher, because again, right in the front line and a single dispatch unit, I had to learn how to deal with things like adrenaline headaches because I was hearing terrible things, but I could not flight. I had to be there. I could not fight because I couldn't go to the scene. I certainly couldn't fawn. That's not professional. And I could not freeze because as I'm dealing with maybe the worst day of someone's life, the next call is Mr. Smith complaining about Mrs. Brown's damn yapping poodle. And I can't say, oh, for F's sakes, I could care less. I'm working a scene where somebody isn't surviving. You can't do that. So, what I wanted to talk about was Care Bear, your friend, may have had an absolute difference in how time passed for her, and she will not believe you when you say, I was only 20 minutes in her state, wherever she was in flight, fear, fawn, or freeze, and the amount of adrenaline and her everything kicking. It may have felt like I have literally 2 hours. I had to use tapes back then when somebody complained on a dispatch, it happened to all of us, that nobody was nice to them. Everybody took an hour, and we would have them come in. The staff sergeant would go over the tapes because every time you lift the phone, every time you push a button, you're on timed tape. Back then, it was an actual tape, not digital. And that person, even hearing the tape and watching the timestamp, hearing everything I said, every dispatch I did, they would still say, no, they didn't get to my house for half an hour. And I'm like, no, they were there in 4 minutes.
Wow.
Because I've got the dispatch. And they have to tell me when they're on scene. But the person, and sometimes people left still angry, and other people started to cry and apologize. Yeah. Because it just does. So, it may be that under that kind of stress, her time moved differently for her. True. That is quite common. If you've been in a car accident, when you remember it, it's in slow motion. When I had my car accident in September, it was literally slow motion. Yeah. So, watching the airbag get me and all that. So your perception is changed, okay?
Yes. Thank you so much, Joe. I appreciate you.
Over my time.
Yes. Awesome.
I watched my time.
Bravo. You did that.
Well, it's something I'm with my therapist about, but we'll talk about that another time.
All right.
But her and I talked a lot about my social media use.
Okay. Cool. Thank you. All right, we're going to keep this conversation going and flowing. Hey, Big B, welcome in. Hey, Remedy Kitty /Twitch, welcome in. We are continuing the conversation talking about Talk It Out Tuesday. That's today, where we delve into, can connections be repaired? What is our willingness to repair them? As opposed to having what I call a knee-jerk reaction and just cutting it off, burn the bridge, throw it in the garbage. I think that happens because people are treated as discardable. This whole cancel culture, it weighs on my heart, okay? It weighs on my heart. All right, we're going to hear from Callie. Let's get your intro and your thoughts and feelings on all of this.
Hi, I'm Callie, 38, she, her. I'm a domestic infant adoptee and separated twin and for the record, trigger warning
Thank
for a lot of this or all of this, depending on context. I want to start this with specifically at Rachel, because I started out like Rachel, and I ended up more like her sister. In an interesting kind of flip. When I was growing up, the thing I wanted most was a lot of relationships and people around me, and I was very big on, I love everyone. Mm-hmm. I was the class hugger. I was the one who wanted to do everything for everyone. That was kind of my personality. Growing up in elementary school, my best friend was my mom's friend's daughter. And I thought we had a great relationship, and she was my best friend, and I hung out with her 3 times a week, and it was amazing. And so when I was victimized in Child on Child SA, and I was threatened with the, don't tell anyone, if you tell anyone, we will just move over to your best friend. And so I took that, and I was like, well, I'm already in this situation. I've already handled it this far. I will just keep handling it because she won't be able to handle it. Mm-hmm. When it eventually came out, because it was ongoing for quite a while, because once they find a victim that's not going to talk, it is very hard, it's hard to shift them. When it did finally come out, because I asked to get my hair cut, the whole thing came out, I ended up switching schools to get me away from those children. Around that time, I overheard and found out the only reason that my best friend was my friend was because her mother made her be my friend. And that hurt a lot. But I didn't give up there. I felt that that was my fault, that I should have been a better friend. I did trigger warn. I trigger warn for everybody.
Yeah, she did.
And so I went from that saying I had to be a better friend. I had to give more. So going forward in middle school, I was basically almost debasing myself to try and make friends with everyone else. I was giving up parts of my culture just to get along with the nice Christian girls at my school. Because, I was completely fine and not saying anything about the fact that they were using the G slur, and I was completely good and everything was fine, and I was the fawner. And I would do anything for anybody. And that got used a lot. But it continued on into my high school times and into college and after. I am a giant nerd, and a lot of my socialization is in internet spaces. And a lot of the time, when conflict happens, I tried to do the explaining thing. I tried to explain my feelings or what I was thinking or what I was feeling, and every time I did that, it exploded in my face. Whenever anyone tried to... There was one time where people were uncomfortable with me in a Discord because I referred to myself as biracial. And they were upset with that because I specifically was talking about being adopted, and I bad-mouthed my bio mom. And they were like, well, you can't claim biraciality and then, bad-mouth the people that made you that way. And I'm like, my adoptive parents are also biracial.
Right.
And, there was another, they're uncomfortable with you saying that, gypsy is a slur, which is what I meant by G-slur. And there were other people who were not, every time I tried to explain, they explained how I was taking it wrong or how everybody else was taking it, and how the error was always at my fault. And it wasn't just with that circle. It's happened repeatedly. With almost every group I've ever been in. It's very hard for me to keep friends, even though I try very hard. And so it has gotten to the point where when those kind of signs flare up where somebody just starts cutting you off or starts talking about how they feel in response to your feelings or how your feelings are invalid, that I just cut it off because I can't keep going through that 50 times.
Yeah.
And I think that for a lot of people, they see that as me turning to cancel culture or me turning to whatever. But there's a point where you have to protect yourself. There's a point where you can try to explain until you're blue in the face, but they will never get it.
Mm-hmm.
Or they will never believe it. I was a part of a half-rom group chat for a while. And I was part of this chat for over a year, and I worked really hard. I was somebody who went through, like, all the news alerts for every kind of variation and gave them all the news in our community and things going on in this time. And something happened that I still don't know what, but everyone turned on me. Everyone turned on me, and then suddenly I was a fake. I was a Fomani person. And it just became this thing where people were then bad-mouthing the people that had wrecked me into the group, like that had given me the invitation. Oh. And I literally was like, don't blame them, I'm out. I'll walk out. I know what you're saying about me. I don't care. I'm leaving. Just don't take it out on them. But I have learned to do that because after you've been that person who has fallen over yourself 5, 6, 7, 10, 12 times, you need to learn to create those walls. My last relationship with my ex went really, really badly. And a lot of it was miscommunication, but I would keep trying to talk to her about, this is what I saw, this is how I felt. And it came to a point where I was basically near Reading, and she was, like, for me, 8 hours away in Pittsburgh. We were long distance, and we were talking on the phone, and she wanted to have phone intimacy, and I didn't want to, because I had just found out that my cousin had passed that day in a car accident in Japan. I wasn't in the mood. But she pushed and pushed and pushed, and me being the person who has to always give out to a bajillion, agreed to it. And then afterwards, she claimed to our friends and her friend group that is out there, who are still my friends to this day, that I essayed her from 8 hours away through the phone intimacy. What? And then I broke it off at that point. Like, it was just so bad. Yeah. But I have a lot of experience with this, where I had to cut off friends, be they in-person, romantic relationships, online, because it happens over and over, where when you are that giving person, and you are that person who is always there, you get taken advantage of, and the relationship is always unequal. When the relationship is unequal, you can try and fix it, but in order to fix it, the person has to come up to the other level. Yeah. The person has to come up to the level of the person that is giving more. And even if it isn't like 50-50, like 60-40 is more than 80-20. Yeah, there has to be movement. And even when you want to reconcile, sometimes people won't hear you and you don't hear... Yeah, you don't hear them, they don't hear you. And the best thing that you can do for yourself to survive is to cut them off. And I've gotten very good at cutting people off. Wow. Because if I don't, it just damages me more. Like, whether it's that friend group that I lost, where it was like, hey, I'm finally reconnecting with other people from my culture, like, on a regular basis. And then suddenly, boom, like, I don't even know what happened, but suddenly I'm a fake. I can't prove to you that I'm not. Like, you can't prove, like, how do I prove it? Like, I've shown you what I have, which isn't much. But, like, there's always that kind of issue. Yeah. And my time is up, so I will land there.
Thank you so much for chiming in. I appreciate you being here big time. Yeah, I think that's a big part of, you know, a lot of people don't know when too much is too much or not enough. You know, it's that, do I pursue this or do I just leave it? Or do I pursue it? Do I just leave it? Sometimes that's hard to tell. Sometimes you want things to work out, but if the other person doesn't, then to me that's when you're like, well, I can't fix it by myself. I didn't break it by myself. It takes both of us to be invested. Yeah. All right, so I will drop Callie, and I know Care Bear wanted an additional 5. And June, welcome in, June. June was like, what's going on? Yes, rebuilding relationships. This is our Talk It Out Tuesday. When do you know when a connection is one that can be repaired, or when do you know that it's time to part ways? So that's kind of what we're talking about for so many different reasons. All right, Care Bear, let's get your intro and your additional thoughts. You have the mic.
I'm Kira, 51, she, her, part of the community because I work with families experiencing homelessness. Sometimes their children were pulled, and sometimes I work with families on reunification. Joe's not here anymore, but I just wanted to say, it was amazing. Absolutely everything she was talking about, time perception, all of that is exactly why I still hold a special place in my heart for my friend, because I understand that was what she was going through. Mm-hmm. And that's why I would still continue to love her from afar. Mm-hmm. I also wanted to just say to, I think it was Callie, I'm sorry, I didn't hear the trigger warning, which is, I only put it in the comments, and we can do that as just an extra thing. I wasn't trying to say somebody didn't do it. I didn't hear it, but it's not to call anybody out for not saying it. I never want anybody to feel like they have to say it when they're talking about trauma in their life. We can do it in the group and just be like, hey, trigger warning. It's not on you to do it. So I just want to, no, it's not. If you're the one talking on the panel and you're already triggered, so let us do it in the comments. We can do it, and it's not on you to say that you didn't do it. Even though she did. So I just apologize for making that seem like you didn't, or that was on you, because it is not on you. A lot of what she was talking about, it resonated with me a lot. And, you know, it's hard to, I feel very much like her. I am loyal to a fault, and that has been used against me so many times where I have tried to protect somebody and then I get thrown under the bus. And the other thing that was resonating with her was about it's really hard to we all have our faults, right? We're not perfect. None of us are perfect. It's uncomfortable to show our ugly to somebody else, right? And to trust somebody to show your ugly parts of yourself and then have it be used against you is not fun, and it's not okay. That's where we all are told be vulnerable, but then when you're vulnerable with somebody and then they take that vulnerability and use it against you, then she was talking about she learned to put her walls up. That's why she did that, because she was vulnerable with somebody and trusted them with her vulnerability, and then they used it against her, right? So that's really hard, and that's why a lot of us have put our walls up. We're how can I trust? Because I've trusted, I've been vulnerable, and then it's been used against me. And so, I just resonated with everything she was saying, because that's what I was hearing, is that she was vulnerable with somebody, and it got used against her, and maybe I'm misunderstanding, and if I am, I'm sorry, I'm not I, it's your words, not for me to interpret, but essentially that's what I was hearing. And maybe that's my own personal experience, is that I've been vulnerable with people and trusted them. And then it's been like brought up against me. And I was like, I trusted you with my vulnerability. And now why would I trust anybody ever again with that vulnerability? Because I've seen over and over again that it just isn't. I value that, like I said, with my friend that I told you about, like the stuff she's told me, I will go to the grave with. It will never, ever surface. I will go to my grave with it. That's how loyal I am. I don't care what she can say, all kinds of horrible things about me. I don't care. I'm taking that to the grave because that's the person that I am. So I think that's part of all of this kind of conflict resolution, is that there's like broken trust might be part of it. But also, this has been a really good live and you hit good numbers.
Thank
So
you.
I want to say, like, you did great.
Thank you.
The best one.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Care Bear. I appreciate you chiming in. And thank you for complimenting the live. All right. All right, so we're going to drop Care Bear down. And I just want to remind folks, today is Talk It Out Tuesday, where we are talking about connections, friendships, romantic, platonic, all of it, acquaintances. When there's a problem, are you the person that wants to talk it out, or are you the person that wants to just blow it up, burn down the bridge, keep it moving? I wish more people were willing to kind of talk it out and get to the bottom of it. Now, me hearing about folks that have had trust damage, I'm vulnerable with you and now you use that against me, for me, that is not a safe person. Woohoo, it's right, 45K. When it comes to safety, I think that's where I'm like, so we're just going to have to go our separate ways, nice knowing you type of deal. Because once the trust is damaged, it's very hard to repair. Very hard to repair. It takes a long time for it to repair. Even if maybe I'm not like, let's go our separate ways. Hi everybody. Look who's here. But maybe I'm like, let's just work on it slowly. Let's allow some time. Christina said hi, Ian. Hey. Let's just allow some time. But yeah. But anywho, let me see. Oh, I just want everybody to know there's 3 ways to access the panel. I do want to hear from everybody about this topic. They all start with the Daily Heart Me. Get your Daily Heart Me and be a super fan. We have 2 super fans on the panel right now. Get your Daily Heart Me and participate in the gift gallery or live goal. The 3rd way is get your Daily Heart Me and share this out 60 times or more and get 1K taps. If the shares are too spooky for you, double your taps, triple your taps even, and then that'll get you onto the panel. Someone is requesting, and when you request, I will automatically check your stats. So Stacy Merrick, I think that's what that says. Let me check your stats because there is a request from Stacy. So Stacy has watched just a little more than 5 minutes. 0 comments, 0 shares, 0 likes, no Daily Heart Me. So yeah, get those things going on and then request again. And then I'll check your stats again. All right, Superfan Christina, are you ready?
Oh, I guess so.
Okay, awesome. All right, let's get your intro and your thoughts and feelings on Talk It Out Tuesday.
Okay, so I am Christina. I am 34 years old. My pronouns are she, her. I'm a former Head Start teacher. 3 of my nephews have been in the system, and 2 of them I had their kinship. So Talk It Out Tuesday. I don't think it's a bad idea at all. I think that, like, for you truly wanting to gain a connection, you're like, oh my gosh, this was a miscommunication, whatever. And sometimes you think that, you know, I mean, in certain situations, you're like, oh, this is a massive miscommunication. I am so sorry. But then when you actually get into it and you're actually with that person, it's like, oh, okay, never mind. This was bad. This was a bad idea. You know? And I mean, but if you don't talk it out, then how do you not know those things? Good night, Nixie.
Oh, good night, Nixie.
But,
thanks for being here.
Yeah, so like, sometimes it can be a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing, you know? Sometimes it's very daunting, you know, to even talk it out. Like, sometimes that's good to have a safe place to, like, be able to do so. You know what I mean? Neutral ground, mediator, you know, like someone like that. That's never necessarily a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing, but I worry that people often put too much emphasis on things. Like, they're like, oh, well, we're going to talk it out and it's all going to work. And then it's like somebody's just crushed. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you do realize that is a person you need to cut out of your life. But if you don't talk it out, how are you ever really going to know that? Because you won't. And you'll always have that what if feeling and everything else. So I don't think Talk It Out Tuesday is necessarily bad.
Nice.
I don't think it's an unneeded thing. And I do feel like, though, in this room, with the topics we do talk on, sometimes miscommunication can happen, especially in the chat, because, like, when you only have so many characters to get out, and then you're trying to type it as fast as you can and trying to type the other part of your thing as fast as you can, and you're trying to respond to one, and then you get a message in between, unless you're sitting there looking hardcore and reading it very clearly, you know, things get misconstrued, things get broken up, things, you know, all those things happen. So, I mean, it's like, I feel like that can happen oftentimes, or someone who is misinformed, like, that happens sometimes, and we all get a little offended, including myself. I have been offended multiple times now.
Oh, no.
But usually, like, well, I mean, there was once or twice, like, when we talked about the racism thing, like, that, I got offended that night, and I'm like, no, you're not going to sit here and tell me something totally different.
Well, tell me.
So, I mean,
Can I ask you a personal question?
Uh-huh.
When there's someone that you consider a friend or someone that you have a not super close but kind of close relationship with, if there is a falling out, if there's, you're not even sure what happened, I'm mad at you, you're mad at me, are you the person that wants to talk it out, or are you the person that is like, oh well, moving on?
No, usually I am a very open person, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I am a nice person. I am a kind person. I am willing to help anybody, anywhere, anytime, don't care. But, to a certain degree, unless it was something terrible to like really, really upset me, or you gotta, you know, something so deep that was uncalled for, like, totally, I'm one of those people that I'm going to talk it out, and I'm going to be like, hey, was it me? Like, I end up taking a lot of the responsibility, and I know now, being older, that a lot of that is my ADHD with the rejection sensitivity. So I just assume, or like, if someone's having a bad attitude in the room, like, I will try to overcompensate and try to make them laugh. I will try to do several things, because I feel the awkward tension and I can sense it, and I get overwhelmed by it, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, they didn't laugh at my joke. Okay. And I don't ever go to, they must be really upset about something totally different.
That has nothing to do with me.
I'll
probably.
be like, oh my gosh, they don't like me. They must hate me. There is something seriously wrong here. Like I am trying my hardest to go out of my way and be kind and friendly, and they're still not receptive to it. I must be annoying them. I need to stop that. Why am I so annoying? Like, my brain will go on that spiral.
Yeah.
So I am one of those people who talks it out a lot of the times, and I ask people, "Hey, are you okay? Is it me? Did I do something?"
I think that's
Because not gonna lie, there are some days I annoy myself, but I can't escape me. So
No,
here
can't.
we are.
Here we are.
Right.
Let me
So
ask you
there are
another-
some days.
Let me ask you another question, if it's okay.
Yeah.
So this is an experience that I have had in the past, and I wonder if you've had this experience, where someone is like in a really bad, cranky mood, right? And you're trying to think like, did I do something? But you can't think of anything you may have done or said. So instead, you try to like lighten the mood, joke around, or whatever, and then the person is like, "You're making fun of me, or you're not taking me very seriously."
Yeah, and then you feel doubly awkward because you're like, "Oh my gosh, no, I didn't know what was going on. I was just trying to brighten your day. I am so sorry. I will walk away right now, and I will never speak to you again."
Oh
like,
my God.
that's how I am. Like, I don't like the awkward tension. I absolutely hate it. But, like, sometimes there are people who are just not in the mood, and I get that. And they can turn around, look at you, and say something, and you're like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry." And you're like, "Wow, I just messed that up royally. Look at me go." You know, I mean, over assumption or something, you know, I mean, you just kind of, and then my brain will just like spiral into a whole thing. And I am one of those people, I would rather not have awkward tension, but the older I've gotten,
it's bound to happen.
I'm getting to the point I can care less sometimes. Like, if I
Okay.
tried and I
like,
knew,
well,
I knew in myself that I was being kind and I was being polite, and you were still rude and a butthead, then you're just a butthead. Yep. You're just, that's who you are.
Yeah.
And I just walk away because, like, I've been taken advantage of her too many times in my life.
Yeah.
To actually, like, keep it up. There is no reason for me to keep that up. I need to put that guard up. I need to protect my own peace. And I think I learned a lot of that through therapy and after my divorce and everything. And, you know, I just, no, shut down, stone face. I don't care anymore. You have burned that bridge. Like, I am cutting off that connection because I don't want to care near as much, you know?
Yes.
It's like, if I put too much into this, I know you're only going to hurt me. And I don't need that. I don't need that in my life. It's not good for me as a person, because then when I hurt deeply, and it is very obvious
sensitive,
that I'm upset or I'm sick or anything else. I shut down. I go quiet. Everything. And people know there's something off. Everyone can sense it around me. I wear it. And that affects my life at work. It affects me at home. It affects me being a mother, being a fiance, soon to be wife again. You know, I mean, it affects me in all areas of my life.
Yeah.
And so I don't want that anymore. I don't want those things
sounds like your
at all to ruin who I am.
Your boundary setting sounds stronger.
Yes, very much so. And I've gotten to the point in my life where I'm not afraid to speak up and say something.
Awesome. Thank you so much for chiming in, Christina. I appreciate you big time. All right, we're going to keep this conversation going and flowing. Let's see. Like I said, if anyone needs additional time, send a guest request. Let me know. Today is Talk It Out Tuesday. We have 5 people in the room. We are at 50K taps, 1K shares. Oh, 6 people in the room. Bravo. Just on that alone, bravo. And then to continue with the room stats, we have been live for 1 hour and 52 minutes. We have had 297 views, 6 new followers, 12 gifters. This live is made $1.12. Awesome. Okay, we'll see you later, Christina. I see you say Cole just got home. Bravo to everybody who has contributed to the space. I appreciate it big time. So for the folks that don't know, my name is Marika Goolsby. I am a former foster youth and adoptee. I wrote my memoir about my time in care. It is available. As you see, I have it pinned to the bottom. If you haven't gotten your copy, get your copy. It is my heart and soul poured out onto paper. It is my life story. I always highly urge folks to listen to the voices of those of us with lived experience. Read as many foster care and adoption memoirs as you can. Not yet. I am working on the audiobook version. Thank you for asking. Right now, you can get a hard copy and you can get a e-reader copy. Yeah, those are the 2 ways. If you want a signed copy, click the link right there. If you don't care about a signed copy, you can get it other places like the rainforest. It won't have a signature. But yeah, so I highly recommend it. It took me a while to get it. It took me years to get it done, but it's finally done, and I'm very happy about it. I'm happy with how it turned out. It is a, I don't know, it's a good read, I've heard. I've gotten great feedback so far. I've gotten really good feedback on it. I was open, I was honest, I was raw. Yeah, I told it exactly how it went down. I'll definitely buy the audiobook one. Okay, if it's out, I am more of a listener. Okay, I get that. I get that 100%. All right, we have talked and talked and talked. I always shoot for 2 to 3 hour lives, depending on how many folks are in the space. And we have just about gotten there. So we're going to start winding down. If there are any last minute comments, questions, concerns, let me know now, because we are winding down for the night. And for everybody who doesn't know, look at my post. I have a pinned post that shows the week, the topics for the week. And that way you can kind of come into the live knowing what the topic is, and knowing if you want to chime in or if you just want to listen to hear, to learn something new or gain a different perspective. So I definitely recommend that. And yeah, the last order of business right now is for me to find our exit song. So 5 words or more when you comment. Yes, thank you, Care Bear. They say the comments do determine if your post gets pushed out. So by reposting it and commenting between 5 and 9 words is ideal. You can do that on any of my posts. I would appreciate it, and I will definitely visit your page to see what you got going on with your posts and be supportive. Any advice on what to do if someone just flat out stops talking to you and does not say why? That is a hard one for me. Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm going through that right now, actually, with my BFF. I don't know. I'm not even 100% sure. The few times I did talk to her, it was like, I don't know, she tries to act like nothing has changed. I'm like, are you serious right now? Like, we used to talk every single day, and now you never call me back, and you never call me. Okay. There really is nothing you can do. All you really can do is be like, send a message. Something seems off. Something seems different. I don't know what happened, but I love you. I miss you. When you're ready to talk, you know my number. Maybe if I haven't heard from you in a week, a month, or whatever it feels right for you, I might check back in. But basically, like, the ball's in your court. That's how I handle it. And then you grieve, I suppose. Love them from afar. Right. Yeah, I basically did that and left the ball in their court. Yeah, that's the hard part, especially when it feels like they're never picking up the ball. You're like, what the heck? What did I do? Just tell me what I did. I'll fix it. Yes, I understand that. I've been friends with this person since we were 26. We're 51 now. And I don't know what happened. I don't know. I just know we used to talk on the phone all day, every day. And she started pulling away. And now it's like we don't talk at all. Because I can only call and leave so many messages before I'm starting to feel like a stalker. Like, hey, it's me, call me back. Hey, it's me, call me back. Hey, how you doing? I hope you're doing great. Call me back. Hey, call me back. You can only do that so many times. Oh my God, I was friends with mine since we was 13. I'm 38. So we're in the same boat, June. I feel your pain. I really do. After a while, you can, at least for me, with my rejection issues, and she knows about this, I'm like, okay, I've done what I can do. I've reached out. I've called. I left voicemails. I sent text messages. I sent emails. I sent messages through all the social media platforms that we're on together, and still nothing. Okay. At this point, I'm like, maybe she doesn't even really know why. I don't know. But one day the conversation will happen, I hope. Yeah. So yeah, I'm sorry, June, but I know exactly what you're going through. At this point, it's their loss. That's how I feel too. Although I feel like I'm the one that is feeling the loss. I don't know what she's feeling because there's no communication. I don't know. All right. But yeah, please do come back tomorrow. We'll be centering the voices of... Dang it, I haven't decided. But I'll be making a post about it. Tomorrow we'll be centering the voices of some other aspect of the adoption foster care consolation. So for now, I will play our exit song, Live Your Wild and Wonderful Life, and hopefully I will see you tomorrow.